Alright, my screen recorder starts getting rather high maintenance if I go over 15 minutes, so I thought I would do a part 2 instead of being cut off mid-sentence. So, we were talking about the sociocultural perspective and the fact that there's quite a bit of overlap with sociology because there's going to be a significant amount of consideration for how are all these social institutions coming together. You will read about a theoretical perspective that was proposed by Bronfenbrenner with the ecological systems model, and that is a great example of what exactly the social cultural perspective is doing. Is they're saying let's try to consider all of these different family situations, cultural situations that could be influencing the way that this person is behaving. So, humanism or humanistic psychology. This is where we get into more optimism. So a great deal of humanistic psychology came out of the fact of, if you look at Freud's original theories, if you look at behaviorism, if you look at so many of these other perspectives, you see a lot of pessimism towards human nature. Behaviorism teaches we're very passive, right? We're just being shaped by what we're doing and if it turned out good or bad. Freud believes we're kind of going, well, the whole psychoanalytic psychodynamic perspective teaches we're just kind of going through our lives collecting these traumas and collecting these negative elements that are shaping all these unconscious internal conflicts, and we're getting all these behavioral problems and these emotional problems because we have unresolved unconscious internal conflicts. Humanistic psychology came around and basically said, you know what, people are inherently good. Any person has the potential to be a good person. There's just stuff that gets in the way. That if people were to be given a positive environment that they could thrive in, if they were to receive positive regard from others, if they would have their needs met, if they would have the support they would need, any person can be a good person. So a lot of times humanistic psychology looks at problems in terms of, what is it that got in the way here? How is it that this could be fixed? How is it that this situation could be different? Sorry, my dog is kind of a loudmouth. And from humanistic psychology came positive psychology, which is just this really optimistic field of study in psychology. It kind of took what humanism was saying, continued the frustration with the overarching pessimism of psychology, and said, everyone in our field is always focusing on what's wrong. This person has this problem. What's wrong? How did this problem start? What did this trauma cause? Positive psychology desired to flip around and say, what if we use psychology with the goal of helping people be as healthy as possible? What if we focused more on the psychology of happiness, not as the flip side to, oh, hey, we're going to study depression, and here's how we can make people not depressed, but actual like happiness and joy and thriving. So the focus of positive psychology is we're trying to promote strengths and virtues that help people not just survive, but thrive. It suggests that achieving happiness and meaning is a byproduct of having a pleasant and engaged and meaningful life. So those are some of the key perspectives and key kind of theoretical backgrounds behind psychology as it is today. There are more, and so many of these that we talked about have this whole like spider web of subfields that you could create under it. But those are the big ones that you need to know for the purposes of introduction to psychology.